Hello everyone, welcome to Joe Consumes Cinema. I am your host, Russian Roulette, and today we have another installment in the Joe Revisit series with the 1978 film, The Deer Hunter. You know, another Robert De Niro film like we've been working on. Again, this is one I would say I don't watch all that much. In fact, I've only seen this film one other time all the way through, and then before that, like partially through, like more towards the end. I first started watching it the very first time I saw it. I remember it being a good film with some, very intense scenes and subject matter. It's just, this is not one of the ones that, would pop on TV and you'd watch it whenever it was on like the others. It's very niche and it has a very directed message against probably my dad's generation a lot more than people like me. So yeah, this is going to be the first time in decades where I've watched it all the way through. So yeah, it should be a good ride. But as always, please remember to blank, blank, and blank. Channel's doing awesome right now. We are well over 4,000. I have launched the Joe Consume Cinema Patreon. I have the first season of The Penguin, the first season of Mr. Robot, the second season of Squid Game, and I'm up to season 2, episode 6, continuing my watch through of Mr. Robot until the entire series is finished. Once that is completed, I will discuss with my patrons, what I will watch next. But I've got a really big catalog of reactions, built up over there, and it's growing every week. And I think it's well worth, the $2 per month because there's a lot of really good stuff over there, plus the guaranteed movie reaction. I think it's a really good offer for what it is. If you consider becoming a patron, I'd really appreciate it. That support is what allows me to, keep the channel up and running. And yeah, I'm not going to prolong this too much. With that, let's just get right to the movie.
How about getting my 20 bucks then?
All right. Hey, Stan! Let's go!
Man, they're so young in this. Christopher Walken and Robert De Niro. De Niro was just coming off of the success of Taxi Driver, so he was starting to become a big star. Christopher Walken was still, I think, mostly an unknown. I'm not sure what he did before this, but this might be his first big movie. So we've got like a Pennsylvania steel town. A couple of these guys are going into the army, so they're getting a send-off from all their friends.
Those are sun dogs. It's a blessing on the hunter sent by the great wolf to his children.
What are you talking about?
I think that's Polish.
Pass him on the inside. Oh, you'd never do it.
Risky as hell, but he pulled it off barely. Very young Meryl Streep, too. Forgot she was in this.
I'm thinking about the deer. Going on. I like the trees. You know?
I do. You have not promised yourself to any other bride.
I have not.
I have.
You have not promised yourself. Blessed is the kingdom of the Father and of the Son.
Eastern Orthodox. That's why it looks a little bit different. Yeah, you see a little bit, there's sort of a love triangle going on there. I think a really big part of the initial half hour of the movie is to establish the community and, how much fun they're all having because things are about to change. Oh, shit. Man, Fredo plays Insecure so well. I forget the actor's name, but you know what I mean.
Green Beret! Hey!
We're going airborne, so
I hope they send us where the bullets are flying.
That's right.
Fighting's the worst. Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Fuck
Okay. Fuck it.
It's prophetic.
Wait, when we get back?
If you don't spill a drop, it's good luck for the rest of your life.
Promise me that, Mike.
You got it, pal.
Oh, what the hell, Mike? Give him the boots.
No way. I ain't giving him no boots. No more. No more. That's it. This is this. This ain't something else. This is this. From now on, you're on your own.
You know your trouble, Mike, huh? Nobody ever knows what the fuck you're talking about.
This is this.
What the hell is that supposed to mean? This is this.
Shut up! I said no.
What, you gonna shoot me?
Hunting for him is like a religion. The others, it's just an excuse to hang out with the boys and get drunk. For him, it's very important and serious. I think it's when he feels most alive and most comfortable is when he's out hunting. That's why the film is called The Deer Hunter. He talks about this idea of the one shot. Proper way to bring down a deer is to do it with one shot. You know, the bare minimum needed to commit the act. Nothing wasted. There's like a discipline and meaning behind it that no one else seems to grasp but him. There's an uneasiness because they know they're going over. He looked at them like he didn't even know them.
Davey!
Ow!
Stevie, you gotta do it. You don't do it, they're gonna throw you in a pit.
Sick bastards.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Stevie! Go ahead! Stay home, you got Go ahead! Don't look at me, Stevie, you did it.
Don't dance! Don't dance! There's always rats in here!
More bullets in the...
This is a very desperate plan.
Game goes until I move. When I start shooting, you go for the nearest guy, you get his gun, zap the fucker.
Fuckers, these fuckers. Go ahead, Nicky. Go ahead, Nicky. It's gonna be all right. Go ahead. Go ahead, Nicky.
Come on, boy.
I do 3 bullets. 3. We do 3, huh? 1, 2, 3. 3. 5 minutes, we're gonna be out of here.
They got me
Out of
in.
here. I'm gonna Willis out of here.
Ow!
You got an empty chamber in that gun.
Ow!
Put an empty chamber in that gun.
Ow!
God damn it! It's gonna be all right, Nicky. Go ahead, shoot.
Just a massive tonal shift in the movie. That scene was fucking crazy. That is a bad break. So you see, he can't even, muster up the will to call home. It just feels so distant to him now. Man, the fact that he had to wander into this back alley of all places while they're playing this stupid game. Shit, there he is.
Don't do it. What's the matter with you? Don't you recognize me? Huh? Don't you recognize me? Huh? You're my friend. What are you doing? I love you.
Come on, Nicky, come home. Just come home. Remember the trees? Remember all the different ways in the trees? Remember that? Remember?
Okay, so it took some time just to gather my thoughts. That was The Deer Hunter. Very beautiful movie. Yeah, I kind of feel like I never really gave its proper due because, like I said, the very first time I saw it, I didn't see it, at the beginning. I caught it partway through. I saw, the ending. The most famous scene in the entire film, and just one of the most famous scenes in all movies in general. The final Russian roulette scene is what I remember from the first time I watched it. And then I saw it again years later, actually watched it from start to finish, and that was, a couple decades ago. And yeah, it's a movie that's telling a very serious story about, a time in American history that a lot of people just kind of want to forget, honestly. But it's very real and very touching, too. So there are 3 basic parts to the film. You have the beginning, where we're introduced to the characters, and it's kind of setting up this idea of, this working class community. They're all very tight-knit, and, they're all friends and family, all intertwined. This small community where, everybody basically works at the steel plant. It's what employs most of the people. Everybody hangs out together. You know, they go hunting every once in a while. Nick, Mike, and Steve are getting ready to go to Vietnam, and it's a big deal for the community. They have like a proper send-off at Steve's wedding, and it gives us our first introduction into the tonal shift that's about to happen because we get that visit from that veteran soldier returning home. This idealistic view of what it's going to be, you know, going over there, and then there's the reality of the person who's actually been there. And yeah, that soldier has seen a bunch of shit, has been changed by it forever. You know, his attitude of, you know, fuck it when they buy him a shot, it's just very nihilistic and doesn't really see the point to anything. So he just, you know, walks into this random place. There happens to be a wedding going on, and all he does is wants to have a drink. The second part of the film is them actually going over there. It's not at all what they think it's going to be like. They become prisoners of war, and you see just the horrendous conditions that they have to deal with. The game of Russian roulette is a form of ironic torture, just an amusement for the North Vietnamese, you know, a way of playing with their food, so to speak. Mike comes up with this desperate plan to play the game long enough for them to get more bullets in the gun, and then turn it on them, use that as a way to escape. It's crazy, but it works. You know, they barely manage to get out of there. They're rafting down what I guess is like the Mekong Delta, filthy water. Chopper picks up Nick. Steve falls off. Mike goes back for him. Steve breaks his leg in the jump. That eventually leads to amputation. Third part of the film is our three guys returning home in different states. Mike is very reluctant when he eventually comes home. There's that scene where he's driving and he sees there's a welcome home banner for Mike, and he says, you know, just keep driving. I can't deal with this right now. He needs like a little bit of time to decompress before he finally comes back the next morning and, you know, says hello to Angela, starts introducing himself, saying that he's home to all the people once again. He just feels out of place. He said he feels very distant. Steve, now that he's an amputee, he just wants to stay in the veterans hospital. He doesn't want to go home at all. Mike eventually drags him back home, and that doesn't mean that the situation has improved any. And Nick, he never makes it out of Vietnam. He kind of wanders off from the military hospital he's staying at the time. He's wandering around the back alleys, tries to get laid, doesn't feel up to it, and then he goes and just sort of stumbles upon a bunch of men playing Russian roulette, gambling on it. I think he's sort of drawn to that in a way. He just can't confront the reality of returning home, so he turns to this because I think he knows it's a way that he can sort of finally get out of the situation once and for all. You know, eventually he will lose. He knows that. I don't know exactly. It's like he's reliving the moment when he felt most alive, even though it's a horrible experience that he's making himself, you know, relive over and over again. Mike eventually comes back for him, tries to get his friend out, but he's too far gone. One of the most famous scenes in film is that scene where they're playing Russian roulette one last time. And it's so tragic because it almost seems like Mike reaches Nick in the moment, but it doesn't matter. He knows he can't come home, and they're talking about this idea of the one shot. It gets brought up before. When Mike goes hunting, he doesn't do it just to drink with the guys and, you know, hang out and, you know, have fun. For him, it's a almost religious experience. It's very important to him, and he wants to do it, you know, the proper way. One shot, one kill, the bare minimum that's needed to do the job, that type of thing. It's like he's communing with nature in a way, and he wants to do it in a way that shows the proper respect, and he takes it very, very seriously. Nick does too. Not as much as Mike, and the other guys are just kind of goof-offs. It's interesting how Mike is changed by his experience in Vietnam. You know, before, he takes the shot against the deer without hesitation. After, he just can't bring himself to do it. I'd say The Deer Hunter is a film that's trying to tell the story of a community and the individuals within that community who are forever changed by the Vietnam War. Not for the better, either. It's not a happy movie with a happy send-off. There's this very sullen feeling, everything that they've been through. It doesn't leave you with this idea of, you know, everything's going to be okay. Three best performances in the movie have to go to Robert De Niro, Christopher Walken, and Meryl Streep. You know, Meryl Streep plays Angela, and there's sort of this love triangle going on where Nick and Angela are a couple before Nick and the rest of the guys go away. But you can tell that Michael always sort of had a thing for her. He just never did anything about it. And so when Mike comes back first and, you know, Nick just stays over there, it's just sort of naturally happens between the two of them. But that doesn't mean that, you know, Angela doesn't love Nick or anything like that. She still cares for him. It's just he won't return home, so there can't be an actual relationship. A lot of these characters have lived experiences that a lot of people can relate to, especially my dad's generation. This is a film that's targeted directly to, you know, that generation. Came out in 78, so it's right after the end of the Vietnam War, and yeah, I'd say there's kind of this malaise throughout the film that sort of matches the feeling back home that people were living through at the time. If I have one criticism of the film, it's that at 3 hours, it's a bit too long. If it were me, I would trim about 40 minutes off of it, like 2 hours and 20 minutes. It's a film that's taking its time, you know, trying to get you to invest in the characters and their lives, and in order to do that, you have to show them through different experiences, and that takes a lot of invested film time to actually get that feeling, which I think the film achieves because it's actually quite good. But yeah, I really can't think of anything else to say. So as always, thanks for watching and peace.